Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you'd be fine. This is Cambridge Lower Secondary Book 7. Today we are starting exercise 4.2, question number 8. We have already discussed first few questions. So starting from question number 8, it says, Bo records his mass at the start and end of every month, as you can see. He records the mass in the start of June as 95.45 and end of June it was 91.92. So you can see that in the start of the month, it was more, and then it was reduced to 91.92. And how do we know? Because we know that 95.45 is greater than 91.92. So this is the assessment, initial assessment of the question. And if we move on to the month of July, so of course, if it's 91.92 in the end of June, it would be the same here in the beginning of July, right? So you can see these two are the same quantities. And then from 91.92, it was further reduced to 88.35. So it means it is gradually decreasing instead of increasing. Now from 91.92, we know that this is greater than 88.35. So it is decreasing month on month. So here are his records for June and July. Now, during which month, June or July, did post mass decrease the most? Since we have to find out in which month there were most decrease, so what do we do? We'll simply find out the difference between the end and start of each month to figure out that which has the greater decrease. For this, we will simply take the two masses of June 91.92, subtract it from 95.45. So we will get the difference in June, and same thing we'll do for July. 91.92 minus 88.35. Okay, I'm using the conventional method because I like it most. So I'm not using any other method. What am I gonna do is I'll do 5 minus 2, that is 3. Now I cannot subtract 9 from 4, so I'll borrow from here. It will turn 4. This will become 14. 14 minus 9 is 5. Here comes decimal. 4 minus 1 is 3, and we will get 3.53. Right? So there was a decrease of 3.53 kgs in the month of June. And if we talk about July, so let's borrow from here. It will become 8, 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 8 minus 3 is 5. Again, we will borrow from here. It will become 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. 8 minus 8 is 0. So here we have a reduction of 3.57. Now we simply have to compare which one is greater, 3.53 or 3.57. So we know that 5.7 is greater than 5.3, meaning this one is greater. So there was a greater decrease in the month of July as compared to the month of June. So during which month, June or July, did Bose mass decrease the most? In the month of July, right? We will write it here. And then it says, at the start of August, Bose mass was 88.35, the same which mass as the end of July. During August, his mass decreased by 1.82. Previously, they were providing us with the initial and the final masses. Now they're telling us by how much amount has it been decreased. So there is a further decrease. And now we have to find out what would be the mass at the end of August. So again, we have to subtract. Then we will subtract because there is a decrease. So 88.5 will reduce by 1.82. Keeping decimal below decimal and the digits alongside, we will now subtract and we will get 3 here, borrowing 1 from here. We'll get 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. 7 minus 1 is 6, and then 86.53. Meaning, at the end of June, the mass was 91.92. Then it decreased. So at the end of July, it was 88.35. And now at the end of August, it will be 86.53, further reduced by 1.82 kg. So these prepositions used are very important to understand the question. When it says by means we have to find out the final amount, and when it says to means final amount is given and we have to find out the middle amount, the difference that is between the final and the initial amount. Now they're saying use a written method to work out the following. Okay, so it is same integers that you have already learned before. So we have 4.76 minus minus becomes plus 12.52. So let's use vertical method. 4.76 plus 1 to 12.52. Don't forget to keep the decimal below decimal in one line. In addition and subtraction, we have to keep it in one line. Otherwise, the answer would go wrong. Now we will have to add them. So 6 plus 2 is 8. 5 plus 7 is 12. We'll put decimal below decimal and 1 will be carried to 4. So 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. And here comes 1. So the answer will be 17.28. Again, we have the same number. 32.6 minus minus becomes plus 0.742. So we'll write it down in the vertical form as 32.6 plus 0.742. Again, you can see the decimal is below decimal. Now we'll break down 2. Here comes 4. 6 plus 7 is 13. Put down decimal here. 2 plus 1 is 3. And here comes 3. So the answer will be 33.342. That's all. Now the next question says Marcus and Arun use different methods to work out 10 minus 4.83. So what is Marcus doing? First of all, I changed 10 units to 9 units plus 9 tenths plus 100 tenths. Okay, fine. He was using the conventional method that we have used in question number 9. So what is he doing? We are borrowing, since we have to subtract 4.83 and we cannot subtract any digit from 0. So what is he doing? He is borrowing from one whole, that is tens, giving 1 to units. Now cutting it down, borrowing 1 from this number for the number beside it, and then again repeating the same process and until we get the last 0 gets 1 here, and we don't need to give it to another digit, so it remains 10 here. Now we'll subtract it, so 10 minus 3 becomes 7, then 9 minus 8 is 1, then 9 minus 4 is 5, and here's how it's done. This is Marcus's method, and we appreciate that he's using conventional method because it's very easy. It's the same method that you people have learned for the whole numbers. Okay, so we are used to it. But what has Arun done? He is using a different method. What he did, we have 10 on one side and 4.83 on the other. So first he subtracted the whole numbers. 10 with 4, he got 6. Now we are left with 6 minus 0.83. Okay, so in the next step, what he did, he just took 6 and 0.8 and subtracted them. So 6.0 minus 0.8, leaving 0.03. Okay, you're not taking this one, only 0.8. So it's just like 60 minus 8, and that's 52. So we can say it is 5.2. Now in the final step, he will take 5.2 and adding a 0 at the end of the numbers to compare it with a number of digits. And now he is subtracting it with 0.03 because here we have 2 digits after decimal. So we are putting a 0 here to make it 2 digits. Here we had 1 digit after decimal. So we took only 1 0 after decimal. Okay. Now 5.20 minus 0.03 is just like 520 minus 3. 20 minus 3 is 17, and we are going to get 517, that is 5.17. So both of them have used correct methods. They are absolutely correct. But if we talk about Arun's method, so that's a bit lengthy. It includes so many steps. And what if we have a number having 3 to 4 decimal places and getting subtracted from a whole number? So that would take a long time. Instead, if we use Marcus's method, so that's easy. That's we are used to, right? And that's easy for every type of question. Okay, so we will prefer Marcus's method. If we talk about 10 minus 6.42 students, so let's do two questions using Marcus method and two using Aaron's method. So here we are having 10 minus 6.42. We have two decimal places. Let's put two zeros here. Then we'll borrow. So it will become 9. This will also become 9 and this will become 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 4, 5. 9 minus 6, 3. So the answer will be 3.58. Again, the same thing we'll do with part 2. 20.00 minus 12.83. Again, we'll do the same thing. Borrowing from 2, it will become 1. 10, become 9. Become 10, become 9. Here comes 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 2 is 7. And we are having 7.17, the answer. Now let's talk about Arun's method. So we have 30 minus 4.55. What we will do first, 30 minus 4, that's 26. Then we will take 26.0 minus 0.5. So we will get, it's 260 minus 5. So that's 255, that is 25.5. Then 25.5 minus 0.05. So let's take 25.50. So it's just like 2550 minus 5. So that's 2545, 25.45. And that's all. Then we have 40 minus 16.782. So it will be 40 minus 16 in the first step. 40 minus 16 is equals to 24. Now 24.0 minus 0.7. 240 minus 7 will be 236. 233. So it's 23.3. Then 23.30 minus 0.08. So it's 2330 minus 8, which is 2322, and then 23.220, 23,220 minus 0.008, sorry, 002. So we have to subtract 2 from here, and we are going to get 23.218. This will be the final answer. And you can use conventional method to verify if your answer is correct. So if we put the values in the calculator to check if my answer is coming correct or not. So yes, we can verify that yes, it is 23.218. But again, I would say that prefer the first method because you can see that it takes less time as compared to the second method. Now, question number 12 says, at the cinema, Priya spends $4.75 on a ticket. She spends, right? Then $1.75 she spent on sweets and $0.85 on a drink. How much does she spend in total? So since we have to find out the total, let us keep all of them together and add them up. 4.75 plus 1.75 plus 0.85. Let's keep it in one line and add them all. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. Here comes 5. 1 will be carried. Then 7 plus 1 plus 8 plus 7 is 16 plus 7, 23. And then 2 plus 4 plus 1 is 7. So it means she spent $7.35 in all, right? On a ticket, on sweets, and on a drink. This is all she spent, whatever she has. Okay. And then Priya pays with a $10 note. So she spent $7.35. Her bill was $7.35. But of course, a note is in $10 or $20 or $50 or like that. So we cannot pay it in petty cash. So we have to subtract 10 with 7.35. So let's use Marcus's method again, conventional method, borrowing 10 from 1. Then this will become 9, this will become 9, this will become 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 3 is 6, 9 minus 7 is 2. And we will get 2.65, the final. So she'll receive a change of $2.65. Okay. Now, next question says Jed works as a plumber. He has four lengths of pipe that measures 1.8 meters, 3.5 meters, 2.45 meters, and 0.85 meters. We have to find out the total length of four pipes. So we'll simply keep them all in one line and add them up. 1.8 plus 3.5 plus 2.45 plus 0.85. Keep them all in one line, but make sure the decimal comes below decimal. Here we do not have the 100th digit, so let's put 0 to make our calculations easier. So 5 plus 5 is 10. 8 plus 1, 9. 9 plus 5, 14. 14 plus 4, 18. 18 plus 28 is 26. 2 will be carried, and 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and the answer will be 8.6 meters, meaning the total length of all four pipes will be 8.6. Now what do we have to do in part B? So it says Jet needs 10 meter of pipe in total to finish a job. How much more pipe must he buy? So since he doesn't have enough pipe, it's the total length of these four pipes is $8.6. It means to complete it to 10 meters, he has to add some more amount. So let's subtract 10 with 8.6, and we will come to know that how much more pipe is needed. So 0. Let's do it like this. Let's do it using Jed's method. That is 10 minus 8, that is 2. Now 2.0 minus 0.6, that's 1.4. So he needs 1.4 meters more pipe. Okay. Next we have question number 14. This is how Zara works. 4.6 minus 8.21. Using the conventional method, she says that 8.21 minus 4.6 is 3.61. So 4.6 minus 8.21 is minus 3.61. Correct. She's absolutely correct. The same way we subtract the whole numbers, she's subtracting the decimals. And that's absolutely fine because we always take the greater number to subtract the smaller number with. So she has done the same thing. Since 4.6 is smaller than 8.21, so she put 8.21 above 4.6, subtracted them. After getting the answers, just change the signs or put the sign of the greater number, that is negative. So it would be minus 3.61. Same thing we'll do in question number 14. Okay, so we have 5.43 minus 9.57. What we'll do 9.57 minus 5.43. And then we are going to subtract them. So here we are going to get 4, 1. The answer will be minus 4.14 because 9.57 is greater and has a negative sign. Then we have 8.12 minus 15.4. So we will do the same thing, 15.4 minus 8.12. Let's put a 0 here, borrow 1. From 4, it will become 3. This will become 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 4 minus 1 is 2. 15 minus 8 is 7. So the answer will be minus 7.28. Okay. Next, we have part C, minus 13.8 plus 7.92. Again, we have to subtract positive, negative together. So again, we will subtract the greater number with smaller. Here, let's put a 0. Then we have to borrow from 8. It will become 7. This will become 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. Now we cannot subtract 9 from 7. So again, we'll borrow. This will become 17. 17 minus 9 is again 8. and 12 minus 7 is 5. So the answer will be 5.88. And in the last part, we have to apply the BODMAS rule. We have two numbers inside the bracket and one of them outside. So let's first solve the bracket completely, and then we are gonna subtract it from 6.582. So inside the bracket, we have 4.5 plus 5.061. So first we will add those numbers, which is 165.9. Okay, one thing to remember, students, most of the time students make a mistake here. While adding, we don't need a zero here, okay? But while subtracting, we need a zero to subtract any non-zero digit. Also, we need to borrow from a non-zero digit to get something to a zero. Okay, so that's very important in subtraction. Now, after getting 9.567, we have the number 6.582 minus 9.561. So this time, what do we have to do? We have to take 9.561 before and 6.582 later, because 6.582 is smaller than 9.561. Okay, so how are we supposed to do that? The same way we have done the rest. It will be 9.561 minus 6.582. So start subtracting from here, borrow 1 from 6, it will become 5, this will become 11. 11 minus 2 is 9. Again, we have to borrow from here, it will become 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. Again, we have to borrow from here, it will become 8, this will become 14. 14 minus 5 is 9. So the final answer will be 2.979. And this is your final answer. Now we have to figure that which sign are we supposed to put, because we have got 6.582 minus 9.561, and we know that 9.561 is greater and it has a negative sign. So the final answer will be negative 2.979. So we are going to put it here as minus 2.979. You have to keep this in mind. If the greater number has a negative sign, the answer will be negative. Okay. Now in question number 15, you can see from A to D, all parts have both of the numbers negative. From in part A and B, we have both of the numbers negative. So it will be plus 5.43 plus 9.57. We have to add them because minus minus plus, we will add the two negative numbers together. This will become 10. This will also become 10. And this will become 15. The answer will be 15, but we will put minus 15 because we always put the sign of the greater number. And when we have minus 8.12 plus 15.4, so it will be again addition. So we'll keep it like this, 15.4 here. Now 2 plus 0 is 2, 1 plus 4 is 5, 8 plus 5 is 13, 1 plus 1 is 2. So the answer will be minus 23.52. We have already learned these rules before. But when we talk about part C, we have minus 5.43 minus minus. So this will become plus. And in minus plus together we subtract. So this time we have to subtract them, and it will be 9.57 minus 5.43. If you will add them, it will be wrong. So we are subtracting a smaller number from the greater number. This will be 4, 1. And the answer will be positive because 9.57 is greater and it has changed to a plus sign. So the answer will be 4.14. And finally, we have minus 8.12 plus, again plus, because minus minus becomes plus. So this will be 15.4 minus 8.12. This time we have to put a 0 here, because if we do not put a 0 here, we cannot subtract 2 from nothing. We have to put a 0 here, then we have to borrow from here. It will become 10. Now we can subtract 2 from 10, so it will become 8. 3 minus 1 is 2. 15 minus 8 is 7. So this will be the final answer. And what would be the sign? The sign will be positive because 15.4 is greater and it has changed to a plus sign. So my answer will be positive. Okay, so students, I hope we have completed all of the questions so far of this exercise. Inshallah, we'll do the next exercise very soon. Until then, take care. Do subscribe to my channel if you are new. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Allah Hafiz.